We just witnessed the heist of the decade. Yesterday, a group of thieves broke into the Louvre in Paris and successfully made it out with 9 items potentially worth hundreds of millions. It's being called a national disaster because the items that they made it out with are historic pieces of jewelry, hundreds of years old, and used to belong to kings, queens, and royalty. One of the pieces belonged to Napoleon III's wife and contained over 2,400 diamonds. The 9th item that was stolen was this crown, but it was recovered broken at the scene. But what's even crazier is how these guys pulled it off. I mean, for starters, it was literally daylight robbery because they decided to go in around 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. They wore high-vis vests pretending to be construction workers. They pulled up in this van with a mechanical lift. It ascended to the balcony of the 2nd floor where they got through the windows using disc cutters. Once inside, they also cut through the display cases. They grabbed the items, descended down the basket lift again. They tried but failed to set fire to the van. Then got on 2 motorbikes, fled the scene, and were never seen since. Bro, they were in and out in 4 minutes. In fact, the entire thing lasted 7. Art detective Arthur Brand said that the heist was the theft of the decade and warned that police have about a week to catch them, and if not, the loot will probably be gone and dismantled.
This is the truck that robbers apparently used, according to French press reports, to gain access to the Louvre Museum, and this the equipment that they used to open the window. It was just after 9:30 a.m., and what we understand from the early elements of the investigation is that 3 to 4 people were involved in what was a well-planned operation.
The room is like a corridor. It's really longitudinal. Yeah. So I was at the beginning of the room. We heard like some white noises, like somebody stomping on the window, and I just like trying to figure out what happening when I saw the museum staff going to that noise, and then they did like turn around like real quick, and they start running and saying, "Get out, get out, get out, get out, evacuate, evacuate."
They made into what's described as the Apollo room, where France keeps its royal crown jewels going back to the time of the kings in the Ancien Régime, making off, we understand from French authorities, with jewelry of an inestimable value and cultural heritage value. Priceless jewelry, they tell us, that they are even now compiling a list on. The museum will remain closed, even as authorities try and figure out how such a brazen attack could have taken place in broad daylight inside the world's most visited museum.
This is real footage of a heist that took place yesterday at the Louvre. This is insane that this was actually pulled off. These burglars broke in using a bucket lift, the same thing that's used in construction. Let's take a look at the timeline of events on how this all unfolded. Sunday, October 19th, 2025. Yesterday, at around 9:30 a.m., the Louvre has already been open for 30 minutes, which makes all of this so much more embarrassing. The thieves arrive outside the museum with a mobile freight elevator, aka a cherry picker. In fact, this is a real photo of it. They get lifted up to a balcony window on the 2nd floor. Now they break into that window into the Apollo gallery. That hall houses the French crown jewels. Now using angle grinders, they force open a window and smash into 2 display cases, attempting to steal 9 historic pieces of jewelry belonging to French royalty. We're talking tiaras, necklaces, and earrings. Now one of the items was actually dropped during the escape from this entire heist. They did recover the crown because it was dropped, but it was damaged. This entire operation took just 6 minutes. Now once they got the items, they actually escaped on scooters that were waiting nearby. Scooters. Once they escaped, the Louvre shut down and was closed for the rest of the day. It is also closed today to preserve the crime scene. As of right now, there is a national manhunt for these thieves. They've got forensic teams on site looking for fingerprints or anything else that they can recover. But the total value of what was stolen has been deemed priceless, and I totally get that. This is so unfortunate because this is history. Let's go further on why this is so embarrassing. The Louvre isn't just the most famous museum in the world. It is the most secured museum in the world. So when a heist like this happens, it's not just a crime. This is global embarrassment for both the museum but also the French police. Here's why it's so frustrating. This has been labeled as a high-end professional job. But when you really zoom out at this entire plan, it is so much simpler than that. This wasn't some elite Mission Impossible style plan with inside hackers, laser grids. This was simply a massive security failure. Full stop. All these criminals did was slap on an outfit that a construction worker wears, entered through an outside window using a very visible cherry picker, smashed the display case, took the items, and escaped by a scooter. Where is this a high-end professional job? Calling it that makes it look less embarrassing.
This was a high-end professional job.
No, it wasn't. This was confidence and costume, a trend that we've seen on social media. You slap on a high-visibility vest, you carry a clipboard or even a ladder, and you walk with confidence. Make it seem like you're there to fix something. People do this all the time, whether it's at theme parks, getting backstage at a concert, or just access into buildings that they shouldn't be in. Nothing about this heist in Paris was high-end professional. It was just psychological and bold. And to frame it any other way takes away from the actual security flaw that happened. What I can say is through historic heists of art or high-valued items, it is highly unlikely any of these items will ever be seen again. It's very likely these aren't even in the country anymore. There's even potential that a lot of these items have already been melted down. And that's what's so heartbreaking about this. The French culture just lost some incredibly valuable things to it in a highly embarrassing way. The only thing that could have been more embarrassing is if they tried to enter using the two guys in a trench coat method.
The police found plenty of evidence under the thieves' ladder, including a power saw, gloves, and a walkie-talkie, as well as gasoline. Apparently, they'd wanted to burn their tools but didn't have time. The robbers wanted France's crown jewels, priceless in historical terms, but broken up and sold on the black market, still worth multi-millions. This heist is a tragedy and a national embarrassment. Tourists were stunned.
You know, you think in the Louvre, of all places, don't they have like the best security on the planet?
In fact, they don't have the best security on the planet, and that's kicked off a huge blame game in France.
What were the main weak points?
Everything.
A recent security audit noted that 35% of the rooms in the Denon wing, where the jewels were, have no security cameras. And France's justice minister admitted the glass on the cases wasn't strong enough. The thieves were able to cut right through it.
C'est que nous avons failli.
We have failed, he said.
How useful is the evidence going to be? Is it likely these guys are in any kind of a database?
If they are professional, yes. They are all known. If they are amateur or in the middle, it may be a little more complicated. What I think is we will catch them. I don't think we will catch the jewels.
There are police everywhere. They're not letting anyone inside, and something was in fact stolen. Okay, it's official. The Louvre was broken into, and unfortunately they did steal pieces of jewelry. They smashed windows on the side where the Seine is. I tried to get videos of it, but they completely blocked it off already, the police, so couldn't get videos of the smashed windows. But they did manage to take a few pieces of jewelry from the Apollo Gallery, and it was not one person, but a group of 3. And as of right now, they have successfully gotten away, and the Louvre is going to be closed as they are now doing investigations. So if you are in Paris this weekend and trying to go to the Louvre today, don't, because it's officially shut down. They have also closed the road that runs along the Seine River, so expect a lot of delays and a lot of traffic because they are not letting anyone in and out of that area. It's all barricaded off.
Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for clicking. In today's video, guys, I don't think I'm going to talk too much because I'm surprised, I'm amazed, I'm speechless. How things like that can be done at daylight. It happened 9 a.m. The most famous, the most secured museum has been robbed at 9 a.m. That's so crazy. Can you understand it? Can you even think about it? That's so damn crazy. In the series, thieves come at 9 a.m. They steal. Come on. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't really make sense. That's why investigation has to be deep, because my mind cannot even accommodate it, cannot even receive it, because no. And what do you think? What do you think? Because I literally don't have anything to talk about that, because I don't understand how it can be done. Daylight, come on. it was so easy to steal from there. It was so easy. Imagine the most famous, the biggest museum like Louvre, without any police to guard it. I'm saying this because I think if there was police, at least they could have shot at least one thief, one person, but not even one gunshot. Come on. What do you think, guys? Let me know. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, please. Yeah, and yeah, let's meet in another episode. Peace out.